On today's episode, I'm going to be going over the gear that was used during the Last Train Home Ballad, some theories I have, and overall thoughts on the tone. So let's get into it because sob rock is the gift that just keeps on giving. Hey everyone, hope you all are doing well. I wasn't planning on doing this video, but a lot of you guys were asking me about it and requested that I do make today's episode on a gear review of the Last Train Home Ballad. I never initially planned on doing it because my friend Alejandro, who runs the John Mayer Gear Instagram page and is one of my co-runners of the John Mayer Gear Lounge on Facebook, he did an awesome post on it, and I figured you guys could just go look at that, but you guys asked for it, so I'm doing the episode. Let's get right on into it. So the Last Train Home Ballad was recorded at Henson Studios in Los Angeles. John has said that this was one take. They performed it live, and that's what we got, which I think is incredible and just a true testament to all of the incredible musicians that worked together to make this happen. And so the Silver Sky that we're seeing here, the Roxy Pink one, we know actually is 100% stock, exactly as you would unpack it. The previous video that I've done is actually on this topic, so if you guys haven't watched it, go give it a watch. A card will be on your screen. So as you're watching the Last Train Home Ballad, you could be forgiven to think that the amp setup is a 3-amp setup, a 2-rock, a PRS combo, and a Fender combo. The Fender combo is a Princeton Reverb. You have the PRS Custom 20, which I also did a video on, so go check that one after watching this video out as well. Card will be on your screen. It's a PRS Custom 20 amplifier, limited edition from 2014. They only made 20 of them. And then you look and you'd see, oh, there's an Alejandro cabinet and a 2-rock. But upon closer look, and this isn't something I actually caught the first time I watched this, is there are two 2-rocks, and they actually both belong to David Ryan Harris. Now, why he's using an Alejandro cabinet, I don't know, but these are the same amps that he used during the 2019 World Tour. The only difference is that he was using them with 2-rock cabs. Now, the fact that those are David Ryan Harris's amps is what initially sparked a thought in my head, and when I was chatting with Alejandro and all my buddies in the John Mayer Gear community, it kind of sparked conversation of, well, why does David Ryan Harris have two 2-rocks? He's playing an acoustic and probably doing something like John does and going into an Avalon U5, like direct pretty much. You then later on get a glimpse of a guitar rack beside John. Now what is really interesting here in looking at the rack beside John, you have what I assume to be the guitar we now know as Sob Rock 2, John's kind of #1 Moxand Satin Silver Sky. That was the main guitar he used with Dead & Company during the 2021 tour. Alejandro, my buddy, figured out that this is the 61 Hardtail Olympic White Strat behind it, which we know was used for Wild Blue. Now what is really interesting here is that the last guitar in the rack is a Brent Mason series Telecaster. We know John mentioned that he used a Fender Brent Mason Telecaster on for Till the Right One Comes. But this one isn't a Fender series Brent Mason Telecaster. It's a Valley Arts one that was made some 20 years ago, and he actually said that, I'm going to read it here, I also have a Valley Arts Brent Mason model made about 20 years ago, and I forgot which song, but I used it quite a bit for this record, being Sob Rock. So this was my friend Omega OJM on the My Stupid Mouth forum. I've shouted him out quite a few times on this channel because he has such an amazing eye for detail and things like this. He's the one that figured out that this one in the rack here, because you can see with the headstock, is the Valley Arts version. It's not the Fender one. So John has both models. The Fender one I assume to be master built, not just the production one, but you never know, could be just the regular production artist series model. But the point of all of this is that you have the Olympic White Hardtail in the rack. You have the Brent Mason in the rack. They didn't just record the Last Train Home Ballad. They must have recorded other performances, or else why bring all this gear and have it set up? I'm willing to bet right here and now that we are probably going to get released as it gets closer to the time of the actual tour, Till the Right One Comes and Wild Blue versions recorded at Henson Studios in LA. I'm calling it right now. Now my last little comment that I'll make here has to do with the amps and kind of the overall tone as a whole. I know which amp rig I take. It's not John's, it's David Ryan Harris's. I take those two 2-rocks over the PRS and Fender combo any day. And the tone that John gets in this Ballad, don't get me wrong, it's great. But it does sound a little weak to me and not quite as full and just there. I find myself wanting a little bit more out of it. And I kind of had a theory originally that, oh, maybe he's got like Dumble Steel String Singer 004 or 002 kind of in the back out of sight. But the tone doesn't really align with that to me. When I listened to it over and over again, I thought, I think it's just actually those two amplifiers. And if John had put one of the Dumble Steel String Singers, the Vibroverb, and either the T-Rock Custom Reverb or his JM Sig one, kind of like we saw with the actual live performances for Sob Rock, the tone would just be there. And I find myself wanting more. I hate to say it, but that's just my honest opinion on the tone from this. It's good, but I want more. I want more. Now moving on to the pedal board, it can be really hard to see, so I've tried to take some screenshots and stills for you guys during the performance, but I'll kind of list off the ones that we can make out 100% for sure. There is the 29 pedals Una, which we've seen John using quite a bit lately. The TS10, of course, that's going to be for the lead sound. The Octopus MK2, you have the Boss CE2, that's blacked out. You have a Keeley True Bypass Looper. The Providence Chrono Delay is there, which seems to be his current favorite digital delay. And Strymon Flint, the Universal Audio Devices Golden Reverberator, which again is a pedal that we've seen him using quite a bit lately. And then there is a Boss tuner, I assume it's probably going to be the TU3, being used maybe for if they did an acoustic performance, I don't know. But that's generally what the TU has been used for. Now there's a couple of things you can see on the pedal boards here that it's hard to make out. There is a yellow pedal, and John did use the JHS Charlie Brown V4 way back during the 2017 World Tour. Is that it? I don't know. It's a yellow pedal. Leave a comment down below what you think that might be. That's the only pedal that's yellow like that I can think of that John has used before. So that's why that's where my mind instantly goes, but I don't know what else it really could be. You can also kind of see that there might be the Exotic Super Clean on there. It's really hard to tell. That's a clean boost pedal that he's been really loving lately, especially with Dead & Company. And then something my friend Alejandro noticed was that there is the Ross Phase Distortion. Not on the main pedal board, but kind of off to the side. That is there as well. What that was used for, I don't know. But maybe it was used for one of the other performances or in case they performed something else. I don't know, but that's there as well, and that's worth noting. As far as pedals that were being used and when, obviously the TS10 was used as the main overdrive sound for this performance. You can also see that the Octopus is on the entire time. Now, you can also see that the Strymon Flint's reverb side appears to be on, and I have a hunch that the Universal Audio Golden Reverberator was also on, because the reverb sound is a lot larger than we're kind of used to hearing from John. Now maybe one reverb was going into one amp, one reverb was going into another amp, or he was stacking reverbs, I don't know, but that's what I'm kind of assuming was going on here. For the rest of it, I assume the Una was probably on as well as the CE2 was going to be probably within that Keeley True Bypass Looper, as well because that Boss CE2, the old version, does suck tone a bit, and having it in the looper will just help prevent that. So that's what I assume is going on with the pedal board pretty much. Pretty straightforward. I think everything was going to be used for one performance or another, not just Last Train Home, probably with the ones that we're going to be seeing. Everything's going to be getting used on there. That's a pretty quintessential sob rock pedal board that we're seeing from John. And that sums up the Last Train Home Ballad review. As always, guys, go give Alejandro on John Mayer gear a follow if you don't, for whatever reason. I don't know why you wouldn't be following him, but go give him a follow and check out his YouTube channel. He has two of them. He has the John Mayer Gear YouTube channel where he's uploading some really incredible demos and gear reviews on there. He just did a Qtron review for how to get the I Don't Trust Myself with Loving You sound, as well as Rosie. That's an incredible video. Go give that a watch. And he also has the John Mayer Gear HD videos channel where he uploads high quality and rare footage of John playing live. So go give that one a subscription as well. And you guys, as always, thank you so much for watching.